Hey guys, it is Jackson here again. Here's gonna be my video on HUDs, aka HUDs, aka heads-up displays, but I'm gonna say them as HUDs because that's what they are. So, I know at least for myself, I thought that HUDs were really complicated, like things you had to really know a ton of scripting about, and all these arcane Second Life secrets. You really don't. I just never fucking read anything in Second Life. They're not hard. So what a HUD actually is when you put them on is a HUD is an item that is just attached to your screen. Like I've got my logo tank here, and this is the HUD for it. It's just like a square that I kind of stretched out and I put a texture on. So when you're making a HUD, what you do is you make your item. You build a cube. You take that cube, and how you attach it to your screen is you right click it, and instead of going to attach to, you go to attach to HUD. And you can hit like center or something, and whoa, it's a fucking HUD. Obviously this HUD doesn't do anything though, so I'm going to show you how to make HUDs that do things. So I have created several textures for a new shirt that I got that's going to fit the regalia body, and it's going to take me a moment to find it because I'm stupid, so the video might speed up here briefly. Okay, yes, beautiful. I've created several textures for this tank top I have right here. And if I wanted to just use them for personal use, honestly, I would not really make a HUD. But if I want to sell these, it's a lot easier to make a HUD than to try to pack like 3 different shirts into a package. So, how you make a HUD in BASIC is that I'll show you on my other HUD. There's a lot of looking for things in this video. I'm so sorry. I have over 37,000 items in my Second Life inventory. Okay. Good enough. Alright. So let me show you an example before we go into actually making one. Now this looks like a flat singular item as a HUD, but it's not. So if we go into control to enable transparency, you will see that there are little red squares in front of the HUD, and this is because these are buttons. Whenever you have a HUD like this, when it's on screen, because these button items are invisible, it's just going to look like one interface. But these are actually buttons that you can click, and each button contains a script that will change the item it interacts with to a different texture. And you don't have to know scripting, honestly, to do this. There are like full perm scripts that you can just buy off the marketplace. I will link my favorite one, I guess not in the description because I'm not a real YouTuber, but I will link it in Discord. And all you really do is you set up the background for cosmetics, and then you make the buttons. And I need to do that for this tank, so I'm going to create a texture real quick, and we're going to go into another elevator music sequence, and then I will show you how to actually construct the fucking HUD. Okay, we're back at it again, everybody. So, once you've made your wonderful, lovely HUD texture image, you want to just upload it. Obviously, That's not really part of the tutorial. You should know that you have to do it. We're just going to build a cube. And the cube is going to be the basis for our HUD. How big you make the item is gonna affect how big the HUD is. So make it a reasonable size, I guess. Reasonable dimensions, all that good stuff. And then you want to go in, you want to put your texture for your HUD on it. It's gonna look fucking horrible, so you're gonna have to mess with the vertical scale just a little bit, which I'm doing, but I'm not doing it well because I'm just not. Okay. I lied, I'm doing it well. I have to get it to line up. I'm so fucking stupid. Okay. That's good enough. So this is the basics of our HUD. I also like to full bright my HUDs. Otherwise, they actually do get affected by in-game shading, which is pretty interesting. You do probably want to turn all sides of your HUD, except for the one facing the viewer, invisible. And something interesting about HUDs is that the side facing the viewer is, and I will show you this in a moment, when you look at the item and you go into edit mode and you go to move, the side that faces the viewer is always the one that the red arrow is pointing into. So if you imagine the red arrow like your viewer's eyeballs are kind of gazing into the HUD, like it is this side of the HUD. You've got the red arrow going through, like away from you. So this is the side that you want to align your texture to. Otherwise, it will be invisible or look very weird. So now we're going to build the buttons. And the buttons are, oh fuck. The buttons are just going to be other squares in front of these squares. Simple enough. And you're going to want to make these fully transparent, but you want to make them line up with the buttons on your head. So you just go about doing that. Just move it around, line it up. It's not very difficult. And you're going to want to do this like 3 times. And just make it, just fucking kiss the surface of that bad boy. Just make it real nice, lined up. Make a good ass HUD. Doesn't actually have to be good. You can make a mediocre HUD, that's fine too. All HUDs are valid. Another useful trick in Second Life that I didn't know until I started building things, by the way, is if you don't want to do this like 3 or like 9 fucking times, when you are in Move tool, if you hold down Shift and you click like the edge, like an arrow, and you drag it, it duplicates the item, and you don't have to do that like all over again. So we've made our buttons, we're going to turn them transparent. This is where the scripting comes in, and there might be another elevator music sequence here if I can't fucking find it. Oh my god, oh my god. Wait, no, I found it. Okay. Texture change HUD script. Okay. So I use one from, it looks like it's Jas. I'm sure their shop name isn't Jas, but they just have different things. And so in my particular script, I've got 2 scripts. I've got texture change HUD button and texture change HUD object, and pretty obviously the object script goes inside the object, and that's it for this HUD. Like, you just put it in the shirt that you want to be able to edit or something like that, and then the button script goes inside your buttons. It's awesome. But we're gonna have to do some scripty stuff after this, which sucks. So in this case, a in order for the HUD and the object to communicate with each other, they need to be, there's there's essentially like a specific numerical code you put into the script for the HUD that the item and the HUD listen to. I don't know how that works on a technical level, but I know that what we can do is we can go in here, and when it's asking us for a number, we can just write like 69, 69, 420, 69, and that's good. And we save that, and you do that for all your buttons because they're all affecting the same item, unless they're not affecting the same item, and then you would do something different, but they are in this case, and we're not getting that fancy. I believe I also have to put the listener number within this HUD as well. Yep. Alright, so that's good. So now our thing is configured and set up to listen for commands from the HUD along that kind of number channel, but now we actually need to do the textures. And how we do that is you want to open up the script again, and there's probably going to be something in here that's like an orange number letter string in quotation marks, and that's going to be the texture. If you remember doing HTML on Neopets and like putting in an image and there was like the URL for the image in the quotes, that's basically what this is. But how you do that in Second Life is you've got your textures here, you right click and you copy asset UUID and you paste it in there, and that's it. And so you want to do this for all of your textures and buttons that you have in the HUD, make them different, all that good stuff. That's a phrase that I say like way too fucking often, but that's okay. It's my catchphrase. This video is so bad. Okay. So now we've got the basics of a HUD, except you want to make sure now that you want to link your items together. So we're going to go to edit, we're going to shift click, and then we're going to click the HUD board last, and we're going to hit link so that they all are one thing. I'm just going to name it Stupid Himbo Tank HUD so that we know what it is. And this bad boy is going to be named Stupid Himbo Tank. Alright, so now we just need to test if our HUD works, and you can leave it on the ground to test it. And look at that. You click a button, and it changes the texture, and it's fucking magical. So how you now do this with taking the items in your inventory is you take your tank top, or whatever it is, and you take your HUD. I'm going to put on the tank top first. You take your HUD, and you go, like I mentioned earlier, right click attach to, and let's just do top right. And it's off the fucking screen, but that's okay because we can change this. You want to go and edit, you want to scroll out, you want to navigate that bad boy back down into, you know, our world, I guess. You realize that it's really fucking big now, but that's okay because we're not actually going to be wearing this for that long. Do make your HUD smaller in the future, though. I provided a very bad example. Make it smaller than that. But yeah, now you've got a tank top that just changes textures at the click of a button, and that's how you make a HUD. And that's it. Like, that's it. Like, you just put an item on the ground and you put invisible buttons in front of it that have scripts in them that do things, and you click them. And there are like hundreds of scripts like this on the marketplace. You can actually search things like HUD script or texture change script or like alpha change script if you want to get into fancy stuff, or like clicking a button on HUD alphas something in and out, that kind of thing. And that's it. That's HUDs, baby. That's HUDs. Thanks for watching. Where's the end key for this? with K there.